Good morning, students. Welcome back to my 17th lecture of your subject code CPC 505 Environment 2. Topic wastewater treatment. Now, in 16 previous lecture, that is the 16th lecture, we concluded the part of that characteristics of wastewater. Now, before going to start the wastewater treatment, now in concluding part, we have seen that the characteristics of domestic wastewater. Now, first of all, before going for treatment, at a glance, let us look that how we will find the strength of water, whether it is a wet, weak, medium, or strong. So that you have just have a glance, please. Since you have gone through the previous lectures, the rigorous lessons on the characteristics of wastewater. Now let me give you an idea what do you mean by the weak wastewater, medium wastewater, and the strong wastewater, depending on the characteristic content in the wastewater. Okay. Now you see there are three columns. I am showing you that is the weak wastewater, medium wastewater, and the strong wastewater. Now the alkalinity in the weak, it is 15 milligram per liter as CaCO3. In the medium wastewater, it is 100 milligram per liter as CaCO3, and in the strong, it is 200 milligram per liter. Fine. Then if you see the BOD5 is 100 for the weak, 200 that is the medium wastewater, and 300 then it is called the strong wastewater. Chloride 30 weak, 50 is the medium, and 100 is the strong. COD 250 weak, 500 medium, 1000 strong. Suspended solids 100 weak, medium 200, strong 350. Settleable solids 5, 10, 20 weak, medium, strong. Then total dissolved solids TDS 200, 500, 1000 weak, medium, strong. Total gel nitrogen 20, 40, 80 weak, medium, strong. Total organic carbon 75, 50, 300. Total phosphorus 5, 10, 20. So these are the basic characteristics of wastewater by which we can designate the wastewater whether it is a weak, medium, or strong. Now, depending on the characteristics, we will go for the treatment. Now, wastewater treatment, very beginning I am going to show you the flow sheet diagram of the treatment process, where it starts and where it finishes. Let us have a glance. When the raw sewage water comes in the plant for the treatment, there are in three categories of treatment, that is the preliminary treatment, pre-treatment, then primary treatment, then secondary treatment, and then the tertiary treatment. These are the treatment category: preliminary, primary, secondary, tertiary. Four major categories we have subdivided into the various treatment process. As you see the flow chart from top to bottom, when raw sewage water comes into the plant for treatment, first it is treated by the bar rag, that is the screening process, which is the preliminary treatment. Not only the screening process in preliminary treatment, there are other two treatment process also, that is the grit chamber and the equalization basin. Now, what is the task of the screening process? The bar screens are there. That is the first treatment process in the preliminary treatment process, because the treatment process of the wastewater starts from the screening portion, that is the bar skin. Basically, it removes the suspended floated materials, leaves, branches of trees, papers. So floated materials are obstructed over there in the screen. Now next is the grit chamber. It is basically a basin like sedimentation tank where the grit particles like sand, like marble, stone chips, these are the precipitated by gravity settlement and the clear water passes. And the third unit I must tell in the preliminary treatment, that is the equalization basin. That is not the compulsory, but that is optional because of the fluctuations flow of wastewater. It must be highlighted that due to seasonal fluctuations, there is a flow of fluctuations of the wastewater, and if the flow of fluctuations is not dampened by the slow equalization tank, then there may be some malfunctioning in the operating system of the treatment unit. So, a equalization tank with proper aeration, homogeneous mixing of the flow is very much required as a pre-treatment. That is the preliminary treatment. So what are the preliminary treatment? First is the bar screening process, then the grit chamber, then the equalization tank. After the preliminary treatment, the wastewater passes to the primary settling, that is the primary treatment, that is primary sedimentation tank. And there, the settleable particles settle under the gravity. But after the primary sedimentation, the effluent which when goes from the primary treatment, that is from the primary sedimentation tank, it is the aeration tank where the bacteria acts as an agent which oxidizes the carbonaceous organic matter, and bacteria biodegrades the organic matter and removes the organic matter from the wastewater. The bacteria takes it as a food. The carbonaceous organic matter, which is the dissolved organic matter which has to be removed in the secondary treatment process, that is the biological treatment, that is removed by bacteria and it is precipitated as a sludge in the secondary settling basin. That is again like settlement or sedimentation tank where the sludge is precipitated and the clear water effluent goes into the advanced waste treatment where the disinfection being done for removing some any pathogenic bacteria or harmful bacteria, and then the discharge the wastewater after treated water, the treated water discharge into the natural resources, that is the receiving body like river, like pond, like these things. This I am giving you a flow sheet at a glance of the wastewater treatment system. Now I will describe the first unit, that is the screening bar screen, that is the screening process preliminary treatment, that I will discuss right now. Fine. So again I am telling at a glance that preliminary treatment, they are removing the large and floated materials as I have told you, and in the grit chamber, the grit screen, the grit materials like sand, gravel are being removed, and in sedimentation tank, the heavy material settles below and oil and grease materials are floated at the top, which is skimmed off from the top surface from the sedimentation tank, the top surface. This is the secondary, I have already told you. Now I will first discuss the screening process. Fine. Now, uh, let me zoom, then I'll be able to explain you. Fine. This is the preliminary treatment process, that screening process. As I've told you, this is used for removing of floating and suspended solids from the wastewater. These are the physical unit operations because no chemical action takes place. Only the bar skin makes the obstacles in flowing the water and removes the floating materials like the papers, clothes, plastics, cans, stoppers, labels, etc., etc. Now, screening is the first operation in the wastewater treatment plant, and it is used to remove the larger particles, floating and suspended materials by core screening. Now, what is core screening? Now, it is a set of inclined parallel bars. Why inclined? Because the surface area, the hypotenuse length is more, we know, in a triangle. So it is inclined so that we will get the hypotenuse, that is the inclined surface area more, and more surface area it will be convenient to arrest the floating materials. So that's why it is not placed in the vertical, it is placed in incline. So the screen can be of circular and rectangular opening, but mostly it is used practically in rectangular opening, that we will discuss. And it is a parallel bars, either the bars or the rods, called a rack, bar rack screen, and it is used to protect pumps, valves, pipelines. So it has been placed before the pumping operation to the treatment units, so that the pump can be protected by that floated materials by the screening process. So generally the screening chamber, area of the screening chamber is more than the 200 to 30% than the incoming swab. And you see the profile, that the longitudinal section of the swab and the screening, you see the screening chamber, the bottom of the floor is kept down compared to the bottom of the swab, at least 75 to 150 millimeter. Okay, and this bar shown in incline made an angle theta with the horizontal. So what does it mean? The length of the channel, that means the length of the channel of that bar screen should be sufficiently long to prevent the eddies around the screen. The less the velocity, the more will be the screening. Performance will be better, will be the screening. So the schematic diagram, the longitudinal view and both the plan view, you see the entry point, it is in diverge, and again in the effluent plant, when it goes out from the screening, then it is converge. That you have taken. Why diverge? Because you are enlarged the area, so the velocity will get reduced. Now we know that according to the size of the screening, there are the coarse skin and fine skin. That is the size of the opening, and according to the operation, cleaning operation, that may be divided into the manual screening and the mechanical screening. So these are the types of the screening. According to the size, it is coarse skin and fine skin, and according to the operation, it is manual and the mechanical. So due to need of more and more compact treatment facilities, many advancements in the screen design are coming up. Now the coarse skin, this is most commonly used in the treatment unit. Now these are basically, as I've told you, the bar racks or bar skin, coarse woven wire skin also, comminutors. Bar skins are used ahead of the pumps and grit removal active facility. This screen can be manually cleaned or mechanically cleaned. Manually cleaned are small treatment plants, and mechanically clean are large treatment plants. Now, what is the clear spacing between the bars in the screens? The clear spacing between the bars in the screens are 15 millimeter to 40 millimeter. So, before now going for the fine screen, now I will use the term the grinder, that is the commutator which is used in connection with the screen for utilizing for cutting teeth on a rotating or oscillating drum that passes to the secondary combs or disc. What is the object? Object is for cutting the large size or shredded it. Shredded means cutting when it passes to the thin opening of 0.6 to 1 centimeter. Provision of bypass to this device should always be made. If that has to be passed through the fine screen, then it has to be shredded or cutted by the grinder to make it fine. Now the application of the fine screen is very limited compared to the coarse screen, but to give you an idea, it is commonly the available opening size is 0.035 to 6 millimeter, very fine, and these screens are used for remove solids from primary effluent to reduce clogging problem of trickling filter. These are the things, but mostly in true sense, in preliminary treatment, the coarse screens are used. Now, the screen chambers I will talk about. Now, what is screen chamber? It is basically, I have shown you in the schematic diagram, it is a rectangular channel, and the floor of the channel is 7 to 15 centimeter down, that is lower than the bottom of the incoming sewer that we have seen in the elevation, sectional elevation. Bed of the channel may be flat or may be desired slope. Now this channel is designed to avoid deposition of the grit and other materials. At least 2 bar racks has to be there. Is designed to carry peak flow. Arrangement for maintenance purpose, some arrangement of stopping of the flow and draining of the channel has to be there. Now the effluent structure should be having uniform convergence and influence structure uniform divergence, that we have seen very beginning. The effluent from the individual rack may be combined or kept separate as necessary. Now this is the convergence and divergence I have shown you. You see, when gate is closed for maintenance purpose, that gate provision is also there, as we are discussing regarding that maintenance purpose. Both sides the gate closed when the screenings are being maintained properly. Here the double chamber bar screen and influent and effluent arrangement. Double chamber, you see the double chamber I have shown you. Now regarding the design aspects, starting the design aspects of the bar screen, we will solve the numerical sum. How to design, I will show you the screening, how to design the screening, bar screening tank, that is the channel, how it can be designed. So before going into that detail, certain requirements and specification for design of bar screen should be known first. What is that? The velocity of flow ahead to the skin varies materially and it affects operation. So lower velocity, greater amount of solids would be deposited at the bottom of the skin. If the velocity is low, then what will happen? Then greater amount of solids will be deposited at the bottom of the channel. So a approach velocity of wastewater in the screening channel should have a minimum velocity, should not fall a minimum velocity, that is 0.42 meter per second. because the velocity, if it falls below a self-cleaning velocity, then again the deposition forms at the bottom of the screening. So operation will not be taken efficiently. So we have to see the velocity of the wastewater in the screening channel should not be below the self-cleaning, that is 0.42 meter per second. And it is suggested that approach velocity should be 0.6 to 0.75 meter per second, and accordingly the bed slab of the channel should be adjusted to develop the velocity. Fine. Now, you know, when the velocity of flow occurs to the screening, head losses due to installation of the screening should be controlled so that the backwater will not cause the entrant sewer under pressure. So that head loss to the bar rack can be calculated by the formula H equal to beta W by B whole to the power 4 by 3 HB sin theta, which is called the Kretschmer's equation. So the Kretschmer's equation is a very important equation which gives the head loss in the screening, where beta is the bar shape factor and it has a constant value. Suppose if we go for the rectangular bars, then this beta has a constant value 2.42. For example, I am giving. And what is the W? W is total width of the bars facing the flow. That means the total width of the bar plus summation of the total width of the opening. These total widths giving the width of the bar skin. Again, I am telling width of the bar skin means width of the bar, individual bar, plus number into number, plus the number of openings, total number of openings width, which will give you the total width of the bar. And what is B? It is the clear spacing between the bar. So this W by B concept is clear. Hv is the velocity head. So from fluid mechanics we know velocity head is v square by 2g. And theta is the inclination of the bar with the horizontal that we have seen in the figure. So knowing these values, we can calculate the head loss in the bar skin. Usually in practice, the head loss usual accepted practice to provide loss of head 0.15 meter, but maximum loss of head with the clogged hand cleaned skin should not exceed 0.3 meter. That means 0.15 to 0.3 meter head loss has to be entertained. Maximum is 0.3 meter. For mechanical clean skin, the head loss is specified by the manufacturer between 150 to 600 millimeter. So this is about the head loss with the formula as I have told you. Now let me discuss how to design a screen against the flow of discharge. Very interesting. So if you go through the design, then you will understand the total screening operation, how the mode of the operation is being done. So here you have to design a bar screen, which I am showing a design of bar screen chamber. For average sewage flow, it is given 20 million liter per day. Minimum sewage flow 12 million liter per day. Maximum flow 30 million liter per day. So three flow you have given. There is a fluctuation flow, the average flow, maximum flow, minimum flow. That three flows are given in the question. Average flow, maximum flow, minimum flow. Average flow is given 20 million liter, means we are converting in meter cube per second. That is 0.231 meter cube per second. Maximum flow 30 million liter per day, that means 0.347 meter cube per second. Minimum flow 12 million liter per day, means 0.139 meter cube per second. Now assume the manual cleaning and angle of inclination of bars. Why manual cleaning? Because 20 million liter per day. It's a average. So small treatment plant we can consider. So it is manual cleaning. Let us assume. And the angle of inclination, because in design of the system you have to assume first certain things. Theta, the inclination with the horizontal that you are consider it is 30 degree. And assume size of bar is 9 millimeter, which is facing to the water flow, and other side is 50 millimeter, 9 millimeter facing to the flow, that I am telling you. And the clear spacing, that is between two bars, it is 30 millimeter. Average velocity of flow normal to the screen, it is given as 0.3 meter per second at average flow, which is given in the question, 0.3 meter per second. No, it is I think the average, it may be considered, it may be assumed in the design. Okay, fine. Now, first of all, how you will calculate the net submerged area of the screen? Because we know the area is the discharge divided by velocity. What is the discharge? Now, discharge is average flow is 0.231 meter cube per second. If you consider the average flow, that is 0.231 meter cube per second, and the average flow velocity is 0.3 meter per second, let us assume, then average flow by flow velocity, you will get the submerged area of the screen, because Q by V is the, which is 0.77 meter square. Fine. Assume velocity of flow normal to the screen as 0.75 meter per second and maximum flow. Because you have the maximum flow also 0.347. So if we apply the maximum flow, then what is the submerged screen area is intends to come? Now submerged screen area intends to come is 0.46. Now which one is more? 0.77, that is the in average flow consideration. The submerged area of the screen is more. So let us take the net submerged area is 0.77 meter square, which has been calculated for the average flow condition. Because it is more, so in design we will consider the more area. Now you have to find out the gross submerged area of the screen, because you know the net submerged area. Now suppose you are providing the n numbers of screen, n numbers of bars. If you provide the n numbers of bars, that means the total gap is n plus 1, because in between the bar n minus 1 and either side 1 plus 1, so you add 2 with the n minus 1, you will get n plus 1. So opening is the n plus 1. And what is the size of the opening? What is the spacing between the opening, between the bars? That is given in the question 30, that is given in the assumption is 30. So again I am showing you that in assumption you have considered very beginning 9 millimeter facing to the water, that is the width of the bar, and clear spacing is 30 millimeter. So what are the number of spacing? If the n number bar is there, so n plus 1 spacing is there. So what is the total dimension of the spacing? N plus 1 into 30, because 1 spacing means 30 millimeter. So what is n plus 1 spacing? N plus 1 into 30. Along with the spacing, there are the 9 millimeter is the width of the bar. So there are n number bars, the total width is n into 9. So we can conclude the gross width is n plus 1 into 30 plus 9n. And what is the opening? Opening is n plus 1 into 30. So if we find out the ratio, that is the ratio of the opening to the gross width, it is simply ratio of the opening to the gross width means n plus 1 by 30 divided by n plus 1 into 30 plus 9n. And it is approximately equal to the 0.77, because if you divide the ratio of the opening to the ratio of the gross width, total net submerged area is 0.77, that is the opening area. And if you divide that 0.77 opening area divided by the divided by the opening by gross area, then you will get the gross area, which is nothing but 0.77 divided by 0.77 equal to 1. So from this concept, the gross submerged area we have calculated 1 square meter, and it is the inclined surface area. Now, what is the submerged vertical cross sectional area? Vertical perpendicular by hypotenuse is the sine theta. So what is the perpendicular? That means vertical cross sectional area, simple 1 into sine 30. So 30 here theta is 30 degree. So sine 30 means half. So 0.5 square meter. So which we at the end we have found the submerged vertical cross section area of the screen is 0.5 square meter, and this is equal to the cross section area of the steam chamber, because the velocity is perpendicular to horizontal velocity of the flow of the channel is perpendicular to the flow area. So if 0.231 is the average flow and 0.5 is the vertical area, what is the velocity? Velocity is simply by 0.231 divided by 0.5, that is 0.462 meter per second. So we can say the velocity is greater than the self-cleaning velocity 0.42 meter per second, which is okay. That is one checking in the design of the bar screening. We have checked whether this velocity should be more than the minimum self-cleaning velocity or not. Now, let us provide the number of bars are 30. Now, the gross width of the screen chamber will be 30 into 0.009 in meter, because 9 millimeter is the width. So there are 30 numbers. So what will be the total width of the bar? Total width of the bar is 30 into 0.009, and 31 is the opening, space opening. So one opening size is 0.03 meter. So what will be the total 31 opening size? 31 into 0.03. And summation of the total opening by total bar width will give you the total width of the screen chamber, that is 1.2 meter. And the width of the depth of the flow, that is the liquid depth, that is the hydraulic depth, that is the liquid depth flow, I will give, because the area of the flow is 0.5 and width is 1.2. So if you divide area divided by width, you will get the height, and that is 0.416 meter. That is the width of the liquid. That is the depth of the water in the screen channel. Now we have to maintain the 0.3 meter freeboard height. So total depth of the screen is 0.416 plus 0.3 is 0.716. Let us say 0.75. So size of the channel, you have designed 1.2 meter width by 0.75 meter. Now, the bed of the slope, apply the Manning's formula. Before that, hydraulic radius, that is the area by weighted perimeter. What is area? 0.416 is the height, that is the, the flow area, not the total area. That is flow area means flow depth, that is the 0.416 you have to take into 1.2 width. And what is the weighted perimeter? 2 into 0.416, that is 2 into depth, plus 1.2, that is width. So you will get the hydraulic radius is 0.246 meter. Now apply Manning's formula, V equal to 1 by n r to the power 2/3 s to the power half. So considering the rigorous coefficient n is 0.013, Manning's coefficient, so we can calculate the s to the power half is 0.0153, which is nothing but the slope s is 1 in 4272, that you can highlight. And last, in the design part of the channel, that is the flow channel in the screen unit, you have to check the head loss, and that formula is beta into W by B. Beta is 2.42. Since you have the rectangular bar, so shape factor is 2.42. 9 is the width of the, I mean to say the bar width, that is 9. B is the total width, whole to the power 4 divided by 3 into HB. HB, how you get? HB is V square by 2G. So V is 0.462 by 2G into sine theta. So we'll get the 2.6 into 10 to the minus 3, that is 2.65 millimeter. But for half clock string, the head loss can be worked out using opening width as half. Thus B equal to 30 by 2 you have to consider, and H equal to 6.67 millimeter, that is less than 150 millimeter we have checked. So it is also, however, provide 150 millimeter drop off after strain. If this head loss is very excessive, this can be reduced by providing bars with rounded edges at upstream, or by reducing width of bars to 6 to 8 millimeter, or by slight reduction in velocity, except for the change in shape of bar. In other cases of the channel, dimensions will change. So for minimum flow and maximum flow, the depth of flow can be worked out using Manning's formula with a known discharge, check velocity under both the cases as silk thinning velocity and non-scouring respectively, and also the depth of flow at maximum discharge. So this is all about the design, all about the design of that bar screen. So I have narrated you how it can work, what mechanism has been, principle is being followed in that bar screen, how the shape of the screen, what is the standard width, standard spacing, and standard inclination that we have discussed. So we have, this is the very first lecture of the wastewater treatment, that is very first unit. There is the physical process where the suspended and floating materials are being removed to the screening process, and after that we will discuss the next process of water treatment in our 18th lecture. So I will close it at here. So students, I will upload my lectures on the bar screen in Google Classroom. You will kindly go to that lectures. Hopefully we will be meeting in the live classroom for interaction session for any queries regarding the bar screening process problems, systems working in the wastewater treatment plant. We will discuss one-to-one interaction we will have in the live classroom. So kindly go to the lecture. In the meantime, I will post it in Google, and next we will discuss the, we will start the heat chamber, the next item of the treatment unit in the next 18th lecture. So thank you very much. Have a nice day to all.